So welcome everybody to another episode of Chocolate Travels. I'm here with Artur from Chocolates La Grano in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And he's here with Giovanna and Anna are going to help translate. So hello everybody. Nice to meet
Hi.
you.
Hello.
Excellent. So let's start with what inspired you, Artur, to start making your own chocolate? Why did you think it was possible to make your own chocolate?
O que mais te inspirou e o que você achou que fez fazer o seu chocolate ser possível?
Bem, eu sempre quis empreender,
Well, he always
porque,
wanted to be a business owner,
Mm,
e eu não sabia com o que,
but he never really knew what he wanted to do or what business he wanted to own.
okay.
então, em uma viagem para a Suíça,
So I went to a trip in Switzerland,
eu descobri o chocolate na fábrica da Caillet, perto de Montreux.
and so I went to a factory in Caillet next to Montaigne, and that's when I found chocolate.
Wonderful.
E eu vi como era feito o chocolate e me encantei pelo processo.
And I was just memorized by how they made chocolate and chocolate itself.
Além disso, a Suíça, ela vive o chocolate.
Besides that, I went to Switzerland, and if you've been there, you know that Swiss people, they just breed chocolate, and it was fascinating.
Wonderful.
Então, eu via as pessoas morando onde fabricavam e vendiam chocolate.
So I really connected and saw people who lived where they manufacture and sell chocolate a lot.
Então, isso me deu um ar assim, de independência, né? Que a pessoa poderia ter o seu próprio sustento, né? Pelo seu próprio trabalho.
And that made me really know that if I really wanted, I could open my own and just do what the Swiss people did right here in Brazil.
Okay.
E além do chocolate ser muito versátil, ele pode ser vendido como barra, ele pode ser vendido para empresas, ele pode trabalhar com eventos, ele pode ser vendido no varejo.
Besides that, I find that chocolate is very fascinating because it's a very versatile product. So you can sell it as bars or as little
Drink.
snacks or a lot of other stuff with chocolate you can do.
Okay.
Então eu pensei, se eu fizer o melhor chocolate, eu consigo vender, né? Eu consigo ter sucesso.
So I thought that if I can make the best chocolate that I can manufacture and I can sell it, then everything is going to be fine.
So I'm just gonna interrupt for a second. So did you have a background in culinary, working in a kitchen? How did you figure out how to make chocolate in Brazil?
Então, ele queria saber como que você começou a fazer o chocolate. Você já tinha um repertório de como fazer barras, alguma coisa, ou aulas de cozinha? Aulas?
Não, nunca fiz nenhuma aula sobre chocolate.
No, he never actually had any cooking repertory or done any
Eu só queria
classes.
empreender.
He just had this massive will of being a business owner, and then he researched, and that's how he self-researched himself and how to make chocolate.
Então, quando eu voltei de viagem para o Brasil,
So when answer the first question you asked, when he came back from that trip on Switzerland to Brazil,
eu vi uma reportagem no jornal sobre a menor fábrica do mundo.
I saw a news in a Brazilian television that showed the smallest factory of chocolate in Brazil,
Onde a Luisa Abram fazia o chocolate em um apartamento.
This factory was owned by a girl named Luisa Abram, and she made her chocolate factory in her apartment, inside her tiny apartment. And that inspired him to just do it.
Então, ela disse que o que inspirou ela a fazer o chocolate foi um livro que o pai dela deu na faculdade de gastronomia.
And what inspired her to start that her own factory in her apartment was a book that her father gifted to her while she was in cooking college,
And the
and
book is here.
Nice.
he bought the same book.
Very cool. Very nice. What
Então,
year was that? What year did that happen?
Que ano que foi isso?
que ano?
Isso.
Foi em 2015.
2015.
So you
Então,
saw so you saw the news article, the news segment, and you got inspired, and I guess you believed that you could really do this in Brazil. If she could do it, maybe I could do it as well. Is that
yeah.
what you thought? Yeah. Yeah. So keep going. So you
Oh,
were inspired by that, and did you, buy the equipment and you started experimenting? How did that start off?
Pode traduzir?
ele falou se você, como começou isso? Depois que você voltou dessa viagem, você ficou inspirado por essa notícia no jornal, você só comprou os materiais e já começou a fazer? Como foi isso?
Não, eu comecei a estudar no YouTube, na internet, sobre chocolate.
Okay, so he saw the article, he got really inspired. He thought, if she can do it, I can do it as well. And then he started researching and learning on YouTube and on the internet more about chocolate and the process of making chocolate and how to start a business regarding chocolate.
Okay. And how did you know where to find good cacao in Brazil? How did you
E,
know where to get it from?
e como você sabia onde que achar um bom cacau aqui no Brasil? Da onde você achou isso?
Depois de 3 anos estudando na internet, né?
After 3 years of learning about chocolate and the process on the internet,
Eu comprei minha primeira melanger
I bought my first Mellinger,
e eu fiz o curso com o Rogério da Mestiço.
and I did a course with Rogério from Mestiço,
E ele também é produtor de cacau,
and
de um
he's
bom cacau.
a cacao producer, a very high, good quality cacao
Mm,
producer.
mm.
Então, foi o primeiro passo para conhecer um bom cacau.
So that was, to me, the first step to get to know a really good cacao.
E no Brasil, outros produtores de bean to bar
And in Brazil, other producers of bean to bar chocolate,
também produzem o cacau, né? No caso, tree to bar.
they also produce their own cacao, in case 3 to bar.
E comecei a comprar desses produtores.
And I started to buy from these producers.
E existe uma instituição na Bahia chamada SIC,
There is an institution in Bahia, which is a city here in Brazil called SIC, CIC.
yeah, e eles qualificam o cacau dos produtores. Tanto o cacau quanto o trabalho, como ele é colhido, todo o processo de produção do cacau.
And this institute, they look and they qualify the producers of cacao regarding the quality, how is it done, the process itself, and
Se há trabalho escravo, todo o processo de, né, como que é o manuseio do cacau, tudo isso eles qualificam.
yes, and they also look out for how the cacao is produced, not only regarding the quality of the cacao, but the quality of the environment of work. So, unfortunately, here in Brazil, we have a lot of slave work still, especially on farms, and they work with that to try and protect these people also and rate the cacao based not only on the quality of the cacao, but also how they treat the workers and how it is produced.
Okay.
E outra forma de buscar um bom cacau é sobre os prêmios, né?
And another way to
Fazendeiros
find
que têm prêmios provavelmente têm um bom cacau.
another way to find good cacao is looking for farm people who have awards in cacao production. So he also looks for that.
Okay. And can you tell us about the cacao that you use today? Do you want to tell us where it's from, what farms, the quality, the flavors?
Se você pode falar um pouco sobre o cacau que você usa hoje, então, se da onde ele vem, como ele é,
A qualidade
a
dele.
qualidade dele.
Ele é um ótimo cacau, ele é do sul da Bahia, da região de Ilhéus.
It's a very good and high quality cacao from Bahia in a region in the south of Bahia called Ilhéus.
Hum.
E é, ele é da variedade forasteiro, pará-parazinho, como se chama aqui no Brasil.
It is from the variety Monasteiro. We here in
Forasteiro,
Forastero.
Forasteiro.
forasteiro.
I'm
Isso.
sorry.
That's okay.
Here in Brazil we call it, como a gente fala aqui em Brasil?
Pará-parazinho.
Here in Brazil we call it pará-parazinho.
Okay.
Para mim é o melhor cacau, porque ele tem um tom mais frutado de frutas secas.
Mm.
This one is the best cacao that is in the market because it resembles the taste of dry fruits.
Mhm. Would you say that Brazilians today in Sao Paulo, do they still prefer European chocolate? Is it hard to market Brazilian-made chocolate?
E ele está perguntando se você acha que no Brasil hoje é difícil de fazer chocolate, se as pessoas elas têm uma.
Ainda preferem chocolate europeu.
Então, eu acho que ainda sim, né? Os brasileiros ainda preferem o chocolate europeu,
Yes,
principalmente da Suíça e da Bélgica, né?
he definitely thinks Brazilian people still prefer European chocolate, especially the Belgium and Swiss chocolate.
Mm.
Mas existe uma empresa Bean to Bar no Brasil que
But
tem uma capacidade grande de investimento que chama Dengo.
there is a very large company that is growing rapidly here in Brazil called Dengo, and it's a
Mm.
bar company here. I don't know if you've heard of
I've
it.
heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, and they have a very good and great capacity of investment, so they
Mm.
are really shining in the Brazilian market right now.
E a Dengo, ela tem a capacidade de, pelo seu investimento, de educar as pessoas sobre um bom cacau brasileiro.
And because of that power and that capacity, large capacity that they can influence and educate Brazilian people regarding the Brazilian cacao and the Brazilian made chocolate, especially bean to bar.
Mm. Mm.
Então, quando o cliente vem na minha loja, vê um bom cacau brasileiro, ele já associa a Dengo.
So when a client comes into my store and he sees the chocolate and tries it on, and he sees how good the Brazilian cacao is, he at the moment associates this with Dengo.
So when you encounter your customers, and maybe Giovanna too, because you work there, do you have to educate your customers every day? Are you always talking to them and teaching them what's different with your chocolate and the chocolate in the supermarket? Does that happen a lot?
Se você tem que sempre ficar reeducando as pessoas que trabalham com você, né, na loja,
E os clientes também.
e os clientes também sobre as diferenças do seu chocolate e
Sobre por que o cacau é melhor, ou por que é
Uhum.
melhor você comprar um chocolate seu do que do
Uhum.
mercado.
Sim, o primeiro passo a primeira coisa que o cliente vê é o preço quando entra na loja. Então ele quer saber o porquê que ele é mais caro que os que existem no mercado,
In the
no
end,
supermercado.
I educate a lot of the customers that come in because the first thought that comes into their mind when they see my chocolate is, why is the price so high compared to a store-bought chocolate?
Mhm.
So they just ask themselves, and then I educate them on why and the properties and the quality of the ingredients.
Mhm. Mhm.
Então eu explico que o ingrediente ele é puro, são poucos ingredientes, e o cacau que eu compro ele é até 3 vezes mais caro que o cacau de mercado, né?
I also explained that the difficulty of finding good ingredients nowadays and the price that he pays specifically for the cacao that he uses and works with, he pays 3 times higher than the chocolate that big companies use when they are producing cacao
Mhm. Mhm.
in their chocolates.
Então, eu acredito que os clientes, eles buscam a qualidade, os meus clientes buscam a qualidade no produto, Então, por isso que há recorrência nas compras.
So my customers, I believe especially that my customers, they search for the quality of what they're eating,
Mhm.
and that's why they always come back.
They're looking for good ingredients. And do your customers, what do they like more? Do they like the ingredients and the flavor? Do they like that it's made in Brazil? What do they get most excited about, do you think?
E o que você acha que os clientes eles gostam mais? Se é porque foi feito no Brasil, se é porque são ingredientes diferentes, pela qualidade do cacau?
Eu acredito que seja pela qualidade do cacau mesmo, né? Por trazer um sabor bem característico do chocolate. O chocolate que a gente tem no Brasil, ele já está perdendo o sabor de chocolate, já tem mais açúcar, gorduras.
I really do believe that the reason that they come back and they like my chocolate is because of the high quality ingredients, especially the cacao. Because nowadays, the chocolate that is store-bought, you can, if you try it, you will understand that it doesn't really taste like chocolate anymore. It tastes like sugar or fat or milk, but it doesn't really taste like pure chocolate.
The cacao, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. And do you think your customers, do they get excited that it's made in Brazil, that you make it, or they don't care too much? They just want it to taste good. What do you think?
E você acha que os nossos clientes eles ligam por ser um produto brasileiro ou mas não ligam muito assim, por ser um chocolate do Brasil, um cacau brasileiro?
Eu acho que não pelo Brasil, mas pela proximidade que eu tenho com os clientes, né? De ser feito aqui na região, em São Paulo, mas não no Brasil como um todo, mas pela proximidade que há entre o cliente e o produtor.
I don't really believe that they get excited because it's made especially in Brazil, but I do believe that they get excited that it is made so close to them because the factory is in my house. So I explain it to them and how close I am to the process. Because if you look at big companies, they are not even close to the process of making chocolate. They are just at the end. And he's really behind everything and really getting to know everything and having great contact with it.
Wonderful. And Artur, do you get to do tours or tastings? Do people get to see how the chocolate is made at your facility?
Ele está perguntando se você faz degustações ou tours pela loja para as pessoas conhecerem seu chocolate.
Pela loja, sim. A fábrica, ela é um lugar e a loja é em outro lugar. A fábrica ainda está no meu quintal de casa.
Okay. So he makes tours in the store itself, and he has try-on. So he leaves bits of chocolate so people can try on, or different projects regarding chocolate that he's working on, different products. But the factory itself now is in his backyard of his house. Pode continuar.
Wonderful.
Então, por ser um lugar privado, eu não permito que as pessoas entrem na minha casa,
So
mas
because
sim eu faço degustações na loja.
So because the factory is on my backyard, I don't actually allow people to go in because it's my house and my family. But I do make tastings in the store and I give people a tour of the store. But the factory will be in another place soon.
Oh, nice. Very good. Very good. We touched on this a little bit, but let's just tell people now again, what is the difference between your chocolate and the chocolate in the grocery store? Ingredients, quality, what's the difference? What's the main difference?
Ele quer saber a grande diferença que tem do seu chocolate, né, com o de outras lojas, então, os ingredientes, como é fabricado e afins, assim. Qual é a verdadeira diferença do seu chocolate para os outros?
Então, a principal diferença são os ingredientes, né? Então, assim, o cacau, ele tem uma qualidade maior, né? Ele passa por um processo especial na fazenda. de fermentação, né, e secagem. Pode
So the main and biggest difference between my chocolate and other companies' chocolate is the ingredients and the quality of it. So the cacao that I use, it goes by into a process of fermentation in the farms and pode continuar.
secagem. E a
And
secagem,
and the drying of the cacao also. I think it's how you say it.
então, o cacau sendo especial e eu né, favorecendo o sabor do cacau,
So because of
né,
this
nas receitas, né?
So because of this accentuated smell and taste of the cacao, pode continuar.
Essa é a grande diferença, porque eu consigo trazer um sabor do cacau, né, do terroir do cacau para os clientes.
I can really bring out that terroir flavor of the cacao and the texture of a good chocolate, and what you're eating is actual chocolate.
E na indústria, a gente praticamente consome a gordura e baunilha e outros derivados que normalizam o sabor.
In big companies, they have normalized the flavor of chocolate, and they use a lot of extracts, so vanilla extracts and lots and tons of sugars, and that takes away the quality and the flavor that the cacao was supposed to have.
Right. So your chocolate has the flavor of the cacao, not the vanilla, and not the other ingredients there, right? How do people in Sao Paulo view chocolate? Is it a snack, a treat, junk food, luxury? What do people think when they think about chocolate over there?
Como você acha que o Brasil vê o chocolate? Então, eles gostam mais de chocolate para uma besteira ou para um lanche da tarde? Como que os brasileiros consomem o chocolate, na sua opinião?
Então, a maioria enxerga ainda como uma guloseima, como uma sobremesa.
Brazilians view chocolate as a little snack, a little treat, especially a dessert after you have lunch or dinner. Pode
E
continuar.
outros enxergam como um produto de presente, que querem agradar outras pessoas, né?
Also, a lot of people view chocolate as a way to be nice to someone and show them your love. So as a gift, as something like that.
So what do you hope for the most when customers come in and they try your chocolate? What is the ultimate thing you want them to experience with your chocolate? What do you hope they take away?
Como você se sente quando um cliente prova o seu chocolate? O que que você quer que ele experiencie?
Eu quero só que ele tenha uma sensação prazerosa, uma coisa que ele nunca tinha sentido antes com chocolate.
I do hope that he feels sensations that he never felt before trying any other chocolate and understanding what chocolate really is about, like this delicious feeling in your mouth.
Okay.
Que seja tão bom que ele queira contar para outras pessoas, né, e esse movimento se prolifere.
I wanted it to be so good that the feeling that evoked in him makes him want to tell everyone about it and about the chocolate and the feeling that he or she had when they tried the chocolate.
Wonderful. And what are some of your main product line today? What sort of chocolate bars do you make? What kind of products do you make? Can you tell us about that?
E que tipo de chocolate você faz hoje, né? Se você faz em barras, trufas, enfim.
Aqui eu tenho uns exemplos, que são as minhas barrinhas.
He has some examples there.
Beautiful.
These are the chocolate bars.
Essa daqui é a minha barrinha ao leite, 50% cacau.
This is the milk bar. It's 50% cacao.
Okay.
Então, os meus sabores são mais tradicionais, com poucas inclusões.
He has more traditional flavors. Pode falar.
Então, eu vario do 40% cacau, que é o meu, com mais leite,
So he has from 40% cacao, which is the one which has more milk in
Mhm.
its composition,
e até o 80% cacau com mais cacau.
all the way to 80% cacao, which has very less milk in its
Okay.
recipe.
Which one is the most popular?
É os
Qual,
setenta.
qual você acha que é o mais popular, né, dos seus chocolates?
É o 50 é o
50
leite e o 70 por cento cacau puro.
and 70% cacao,
Oh,
pure.
okay. Were there any surprises to you when you set out to start a bean to bar business? Was there anything that you thought, wow, I didn't expect this? I don't know, whether it's like a challenge in making chocolate or selling it or anything that surprised you along the way.
Se você teve surpresas, né, para abrir uma empresa de chocolates bean to bar,
Algum desafio?
algum desafio, quais foram, né, essas surpresas, desafio, como que foi abrir essa empresa?
Então, eu fui muito devagar. Então, como eu comentei, em 2015 que eu tive o primeiro contato,
Since the moment I wanted to do that, I went very slowly. So I had my first contact in 2015 when I went to Switzerland.
então só em 2019 que eu fui fazer o meu primeiro curso, de fato.
Only in 2019 did I enroll in my first course about making cacao and chocolate and everything else.
Isso me deu tranquilidade para superar os desafios.
That made me a little bit more chill regarding in how start and how to really make the recipe.
Mas
Took your
o
time.
principal desafio é o investimento, né? É o capital, é o dinheiro que você precisa investir, tanto para desenvolver a fábrica, quanto para comprar equipamentos.
But my biggest and main challenge of them all, it was and still is the capital and the money that goes into it. Since the company itself, to the making of cacao, to the machines, the machinery that you need to produce it, and the marketing and everything else.
Porque fazer o cacau com equipamentos precários, fazer o chocolate com equipamentos precários é bem complicado.
Because
Bem
if you
difícil.
want to produce good chocolate with low quality materials and ingredients, it's not going to be a good quality and high quality chocolate.
Right.
Eu comecei a moer o cacau com moedor de milho, eu usei o separador de casca do John Nance.
I started to grind the cacao with the corn grinder and also, você consegue repetir o que você falou? Do moedor
O
de
separador
cacau.
de casca do John Nance.
And I used, qual é o nome dele? John o quê?
John Nance.
I used John
Nance.
Nance
Okay.
peeling
John Nancy.
as well. Yes.
And so
Yeah.
that's a good point, is the cost. So what cost more than you anticipated?
O que você acha que mais custou, que foi mais caro para...
Que você não estava esperando.
Para começar a vender, eu acho que é a parte mais difícil, né? Você investimento em marketing, saber qual é o canal, eu acho que essa é a parte mais complicada do processo. Para mim, até agora, ainda é um problema.
The most costful and challenging part is the marketing itself and understanding the brand. What clients do you want? What is your targeted audience? What kind of products do you want to make? You want to open only a chocolate store, or you want to include other products as well?
Marketing is definitely, for a bean to bar chocolate maker, marketing is a huge challenge because, it requires a larger budget. And if you're putting all your money into good ingredients, it's hard to find enough money to put into marketing, right?
Yeah.
And what do you find, what type of marketing really works for you in Brazil there?
Que tipo de marketing você acha que realmente funciona aqui no Brasil? Tanto como vender, acho que não só o marketing.
Eu vejo que a pessoa provar o chocolate, isso é um ótimo marketing.
In my point of view, I understand that when people go physically in the store and they try the chocolate, it's the best marketing that I could have because they really feel it and they're convinced. Simple as that.
Em segundo lugar, eu colocaria assim, contar a história, né? A pessoa entrar na sua história.
In second place, I think that the other strategy that works a lot is a brand that has history and that has a reason behind it. So if they learn my passion and my travels to Switzerland and how I fell in love with chocolate and making high quality chocolate is a very good marketing strategy.
When you went to Switzerland, you were inspired, you saw Luisa Abram's article, and you felt like you can do it. Do you think more people in Brazil should start making their own chocolate, even if it's just a hobby?
Você acha que, assim como você, que ficou inspirado com a Luísa e para fazer seu próprio chocolate, você acha que outras pessoas no Brasil também deveriam começar suas empresas, né, de bean to bar e chocolate?
Não, a não ser que seja para hobby também.
Ah, é.
Fazer chocolate de hobby.
Eu acho que, preferencialmente, comprar de mim seria melhor, né?
I really actually think that buying from me would be the best option.
Mas acredito que sim. O chocolate ele pode se transformar num produto que as pessoas consigam ter experiências como no vinho, no café.
But yes, I really do think that people can experience more of the chocolate and we can take the chocolate to a level where the wine is or stuff like that are, you know?
Have you ever done any pairings or do you plan to do pairings where you tie chocolate to coffee or wine or something else?
Você já tentou fazer combinação de chocolate com algumas outras coisas? Tipo, tentar combinar chocolate com vinho, chocolate com café?
Sim, na minha loja eu sirvo café também. É um café especial que combina exatamente com o meu chocolate.
Yes, in my store, we actually have a coffee bar where we make and sell coffee as well. So when people go in and want to try chocolate, they can sit down and have a cup of coffee with it. And this coffee is a special coffee that he makes in his own store that matches perfectly with the flavor of his chocolate because it's zero sugar, the chocolate.
Now that you've been around for many years, would you say, I think you hinted at this earlier, but would you say that packaging is very important to marketing bean to bar chocolate? Or do you think customers care more about what's inside?
Se você acha que a embalagem, né, do produto realmente importa, ou se as pessoas estão mais preocupadas com o que tem dentro, né, do chocolate.
Eu acho que no primeiro impacto, sim. Importa, a embalagem é importante.
At first glance, the packaging and the wrapping of the chocolate is very important because it's the first thing that they're going to see.
Para conhecer é muito importante. A embalagem especial já mostra que o chocolate é especial também.
Also, the packaging is very important so the customer can be educated. So you can put a lot about your brand in the back of the wrapping. And also, it passes that feeling that when you have a special wrapping, the stuff inside is also going to be special.
That's a good point.
Mas um segundo momento, acredito que não. Acredito que aí o chocolate que é mais importante.
But also, if you asked me if what matters more, the packaging or the chocolate matters 1,000% more.
Wonderful. Would you say that the bean to bar chocolate makers in Brazil, there's more and more of you, do you connect to each other, or is there sort of a community of bean to bar chocolate makers in Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah? Wonderful. Bean to Bar Brazil.
Nós temos uma associação de produtores de chocolate no Brasil, chamado Bean to Bar Brasil.
They have an association of bean to bar producers, which is called Bean to Bar Brazil.
Inclusive,
Wonderful.
no ano passado, nós desenvolvemos uma embalagem onde 28 marcas colocaram seus chocolates nessa caixa e vendemos como algo especial.
Actually, last year we partnered up this association, Bean to Bar Brazil, and each of the 28 companies gave it a piece of their chocolate, and they made a box with all the different pieces, and they sold in a special
Oi.
how do you say that? Special edition.
Special gift box. Yeah, I saw that. I
Yes.
saw the box with the little flavors, chocolates of everyone. I thought that was amazing. Is that something you just sold in Brazil?
Isso é algo que a gente vende pelo Brasil?
Cada produtor vende a sua caixa, cada um recebeu 30 caixas.
So each producer received 30 boxes for themselves.
E cada produtor é de uma região do país. Então, temos essa caixa em praticamente todas as regiões do país.
And each producer is from a different region in Brazil. So we had that box and that chocolate in every part of Brazil.
Beautiful. Are you going to do it again next year, every year?
Você planeja fazer essa caixa de novo, tipo, todos os anos?
Não, ainda não sabemos ainda.
Haven't thought about it further.
It's a good idea, though. I like it very much.
Yeah.
Very nice idea. And what are some goals you have for your business, for Chocolates La Grano? What do you want to see in the future happen with your business?
E o que você quer ver no futuro com a La Greno, né? Quais são as suas maiores metas, assim?
A primeira meta é conseguir me pagar primeiro, e ainda não estou no break-even.
My first goal is to be able to pay everything that I have to pay.
E eu recentemente contratei um consultor de negócios para me ajudar nessas metas.
Recently, I reached out to a consultant, and he is trying to figure it out and help me with these goals and how to achieve them.
And where can people in Brazil purchase your chocolate? What's the best way to connect with you?
Qual você acha que é a melhor maneira que as pessoas têm de conectar com você e com a La Greno? De onde elas podem comprar e ter o seu produto?
Então, a gente tem o nosso Instagram, que é @la_greno. A gente tem o nosso site.
We have our Instagram, that is how do you say that? Underline?
Underscore.
Underscore.
Yes, Greno. And we also have our site.
E temos também a nossa loja física aqui em São Paulo.
And we have our physical store here in São Paulo.
Well, thank you so much. Artur, Giovanna, Anna, very nice to talk to all of you. Thank you for your help, ladies.
Very nice.
And I really look forward to seeing your company grow. I hope things work well for you. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank you. Obrigado. Take care.
Obrigada.
Tchau, obrigado.
Download the free Bean to Bar app to connect with incredible chocolate makers from around the world. Also, be sure to visit beantobarworld.com, your portal for all things fine chocolate, virtual tastings, free learning resources, research, and much more. Subscribe to the newsletter to stay in touch and donate to the free app and free resources here. Contact me for any chocolate-related questions you may have.